Daoism is talk about, as I said, natural and balance, yin-yang. Yin-yang means, yin-yang maybe for foreigner, they don't understand much, but I change it another way, negative and positive have to be balanced.
Felice, it's a great pleasure to have you with us on Reflections. I'm a fan of your work. I admire what you're doing. You're a multifaceted entrepreneur, businesswoman, with great knowledge and a passion for everything related to tradition, culture, and healthy living and well-being in general. Welcome to Reflections.
Thank you, Sami. It's in fact my pleasure to have a conversation with you. This is my pleasure, my honor.
Thank you so much. Tell us about yourself and where you grew up, where you're from, and what it was like growing up there.
Sure. I'm Taiwanese. I was born in Taiwan, in capital city, Taipei, and I grew up in Taipei. And I came from a poor family because in those days, 1950, 1960, in Taiwan is not developed yet, so most of family are poor. And my father was a soldier, and he's the only person earned the income to feed. We have 5 brothers, sisters. So it's not easy in those days. But my parents, my father, my mother, they always try their best to give us whatever they can, like a food, special food. That's why we get a lot of influence from my mother. My mother always, give us healthy food.
Tell us about your journey into business.
I started to do working in one trading business, and I learned a lot. And in the first 2-3 years, I couldn't meet any owner which I feel I can follow, I can learn from them. And I remember once I working in one company, the manager told us, I was the sales, and he told us that you want to be the good sales, you have to be able to convince your clients from white to black. It's white, but you have to convince them this is black.
Right. Basically lie.
Yeah, it's lie. I said, no, I can't do that. I really cannot. So I feel that, then I try to study a lot, read a lot. Then I forgot where I read that you want to be the good salesman, you have to tell the truth. You don't have to learn much, but as long as you tell the truth, and you can win. That's how I keep this in my mind all the time.
What do you think is the greatest challenge people face when it comes to healthy living?
I think nowadays people, because maybe too busy and too easy to get what they need.
Is that what they're doing wrong?
Yes,
because it's too easy?
Yeah, too easy. And they spend maybe a lot of time to something which is not necessary for their life. But they don't want to spend the time to do some more research to understand which one's better for them. I think that's really is a challenge for the people now. Like us, we spend a lot of time to do the research, but then who will get the benefit? First is ourselves, and then our customer.
What are the top 5 advices you would give for a healthy lifestyle?
Yeah, I like this question because I really like to give free advice to people, to my customer.
Yeah, we know. You've helped me a lot as well.
Really. Many customers get change their life, their health, because we tell them the truth. Okay, the first of all, I think it's the most easier. When you get up early, drink warm water.
Warm water?
Yeah, clean up your system, because when we get up, our stomach's empty, it has a lot of acid. So drink the warm water and then let it go down. After 10 minutes, if you can, you make healthy smoothie. Okay, that's a second mix healthy smoothie. But
warm water, healthy smoothie. After 10-15 minutes of waking up.
Yes, 70% have to be vegetable.
Right.
Okay, 30% choose good good, not a very sweet, not sweet fruits.
Right.
And this, what is good, is give you our enzyme and a lot of nutrition to our body.
Right.
So later, when we eat the food, can help us to digest our food and burn the fat, and burn extra fat in your body. So it's very good.
Wow.
And then also third one is try not to eat outside as much as possible. Don't eat outside. And fourth one, don't use sugar.
Don't use sugar.
Don't
Period.
try, yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's brown sugar,
Yes.
just don't use sugar.
Don't eat sugar.
Right.
Sugar create a lot of problem. A lot of people think even the cholesterol is because of fat. No, it's a sugar. Nowadays, scientists find out it's a sugar. Everything linked to sugar, whatever illness. And the last one I want to give is the most simple one. Try to take hot bath as much as you can.
Hot bath?
Yeah, why? When our body temperature go 1 degree lower, our immune system will go 30% lower.
Fascinating.
And the virus doesn't kill by the antibiotic. I think all the doctors know that. But what virus can get killed by the temperature, heat. So once your body temperature increase to 41, 42, the virus will die. Virus will be very active when your body temperature low. That's right. And so sometimes you have fever, don't worry. Just try to, don't let it go over 41, then it's safe. It means it's a cure your virus.
It's fascinating. I think everyone watching and listening, I think a lot of people who are familiar with reflections are wondering now, what is the relationship of everything that you've spoken about till now and Taoism and traditional Taoist philosophy in relation to, your philosophy and food?
Very good.
Healthy
I have a question. Before I answer your question, I want to say about our previous restaurant, Sino Chai. Why the Sino Chai? Many people ask us why we changed Sino Chai to TaiPei Dao. Sino Chai was quite famous in certain, some of our customers.
Yes.
And it's because my husband, he really also very like the Daoism philosophy concept. And in our whole concept is very much to this Taoism. So that's why my husband gave the new name TaiPei Dao. Dao means natural, means conscious.
Consciousness, right.
And nowadays, many people, especially business people, they forget about this. They only look at the money.
Wow.
That's why for us also big challenge, for us very difficult. We spend so much money to maintain the quality, to bring the best product, best item for the customer, but still, difficult. Anyway, the Taoism is talk about, as I said, natural and balance, yin yang. Yin yang means yin yang. Maybe for foreigner, they don't understand much. But I change it another way: negative and positive have to be balanced. I remember a few days ago, I have a customer. They are Emirati ladies. He started to take my advice to take a smoothie, vegetable smoothie. And she said she feels so different, so happy now, for more positive. I said, that is a Taoism concept. How? When you take a more negative iron into your body, your thinking, your mind will be more positive. So positive, negative, so it's Taoism, balance. That's how, yes. Yeah.
I noticed that as well when when I first visited TaiPei Dao. I immediately sensed that there's an underlying kind of Daoist philosophy to everything, actually, even the beautiful design and the ornaments and the interior.
Because you feel the flow is with the nature.
Yes.
And food, when you eat, it's not just you, Sami. Many of our customers, after they finish the food, they feel so happy.
You're right.
Because you eat something right in your body. You know, we didn't give.
I didn't feel bloated. I didn't feel like I want to sleep. You know, I felt good.
That
You're
is
right.
because we use good essential ingredients. We use a good meat, good vegetable. Okay, vegetable we cannot afford to buy all the organic. But as long as you know how to process, to wash out the like pesticides or to kill the material might stay in the vegetable, then it's good as organic.
Wow.
In fact, organic, you think organic is organic. Sometimes a lot of organic is not really organic.
Wow.
They still have pesticides, so just lower the standard. The pesticide lower the standard. So you maybe think this organic is safe, so you just not even wash and eat. And you also eat the chemical inside.
Wow.
So as long as you know how to wash, then it's fine.
TaiPei Dao is one of my all-time favorite restaurants around the world.
Thank you.
But you have an incredible tea house as well, a tea selection here.
So let's go to the tea.
Let's
have
do that.
Experience some tea, yes.
This is amazing. Can you tell us a little bit more about tea culture in Taiwanese tea culture and the benefits of the different teas?
Sure. First of all, I want to brew the tea for you is more than 30 years old.
30-year-old tea.
Yeah. First of all, I have to warm up the teapot.
Yes. This is incredible.
Yeah, and then transfer to this tea container.
The tea I'm having is only 7 years younger than me.
Yeah, 7 years younger than you. All right, next time I brew older than yours. So you will see the difference.
And each of these teas have their own benefits and minerals.
Tea, in fact, tea most the same, but more or less a little bit different. Like white aged tea would be different. It would have a special yeast. During the fermentation, the tea has create nutrition. That's a yeast.
Right.
That yeast can help our digest, can also improve our blood pressure, blood sugar. That's why aged tea always good. And also very mild, much less caffeine. All the tea from, except the poor tea. All the tea like black tea.
It has a lot of caffeine, right?
Yes.
Black tea.
Green tea.
Green tea.
Has more caffeine. Next time you go to Taiwan, I show you why.
Wow, I'd love to go to Taiwan.
When you tea in the baked tea, okay, from tea, it's called camellia tree family. This tea, it can produce the green tea, white tea, oolong tea, black tea. So the tea, green tea is very easy, very simple. Just dry it.
Right.
So only dried, it didn't process with fermentation, roasted, means the caffeine in the tea is still there.
Right.
After you roast it or fermentate it, the caffeine will be reduced. So like black tea is 100% fermentation. So means caffeine is lower. Then it's white tea lower and the oolong tea lower and the black tea is much lower.
So it's better for you?
Yes, but nutrition value also lower.
Aha.
Because catechin,
Yes.
when we drink tea, we want is catechin, not the caffeine. So catechin is antioxidant, antibiotic, antibacterial for our health. So it's very good. That's what we want to get from tea.
Right.
But once the more processed, the nutrition value will be less. So that's different.
Earlier on, you were talking about balance.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting to know is that in all traditional civilizations, you would find balance.
Yeah.
All traditional civilizations. And of course, this is still being practiced, but it's less due to the modern world and the challenges that, thank you so much, that we face. Wow, look at that. There's my tea. It's amazing. Like this? Yeah. Am I holding it correctly, by the way?
Yes. Taiwanese tea, there's no any particular policy or whatever rules. No. That's why Taiwanese is different. Taiwanese is, I brew this tea only a few minutes. Tea shouldn't be in the water too long. You will get too much caffeine. That's why only a few minutes you can get one nice cup of tea. And Taiwanese,
this is amazing.
Yeah, Taiwanese drink tea like follow your mood, follow your feeling, follow your heart. So easy, very easy for you.
Wow. I'd like to ask you something about, I don't know, technology, for example. We have this over-dependence, over-reliance, and this kind of blind faith in technology. How do you think this is impacting us in terms of, healthy living and maintaining a good lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle?
That's, again, we go back to Daoism, natural. Nowadays, too much technology into our food because there's a big business interest in this industry, food industry. How they do, they want to make more easy to produce, mix production, and how to reduce the cost to add chemical, easy to produce.
Profit at the expense of quality and
exactly. That you see, even the baby food has a chemical, have additive, has a preservative, and also snack. Everything very difficult to avoid, and you see, we keep saying nowadays the technology advance, medical advance. But look, hospital more and more.
Yes, diseases are more, problems are more.
Yeah, because all this technology invention into the food, that you see artificial color, artificial flavor. I know in the market lots of drinks, like coffee drink or whatever flavor drink. If you go into to analyze, there's no any ingredient related what is called. That's really no coffee in the coffee drink, no chocolate in the chocolate drink. It's because all chemical, color and additive.
And of course, I mean, I don't know for sure. I don't come from a scientific background. I don't know my stats on this issue. But do you think that is having that plays a role? With the diseases now, the cancers, different type of cancers, they're all related to it.
They're all related, really. That's why now a lot of scientists who has a conscious, and I know also some doctor, very few doctor in Taiwan, they now realize now they have to really tell people what's the truth in the medical side or technology side. So now they go back to natural healing. Natural healing. But most of the doctors, they don't want to hear this.
Of course.
Because no money for them, If all the doctor tell you, hey, patient, go back, don't take medicine, don't come to see me, just go back to eat healthy food, have a healthy life. Then where their income?
Of course, the medical industry wouldn't survive.
That's right. That's why. So we need to call the human beings conscious back, not just for restaurant, also for other industry.
How fascinating.
Yeah.
Do you think this is attainable? Do you think this is possible
It's
in
possible,
light of the world that
but
we're
very
living?
difficult. It's possible.
Well, you're doing it with TaiPei Dao.
That's
so
why
that's possible.
Possible, but that's very difficult, for us. Really, really very difficult. But we try very hard to maintain, not to change, because now, many customers came to us So please don't close your restaurant because it's a really good restaurant. That's why now for us, it's not just making money or not, it's a mission. You know, it's like our mission to continue to really show the people, to some business people that there's a case like us, it can really be true, you know, can practice healthy.
It's a living example.
Yeah, that's right.
What's really interesting is we were talking about this earlier on. The food is ultimately, the taste is ultimately what draws people here.
Yeah.
What draws me, for example.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm a customer like everybody else. You know, I enjoy the food. You know, it's just great.
Why? It's natural. You know, our Taiwanese ambassador just 2 weeks ago asked me the similar question. He said, Felice, how you maintain the same taste, same quality, but your chef also left. Your chef left, but still how you can maintain? I said, our quality control not by the chef, control by the ingredients itself.
And the visionary behind it, of course, yourself.
Right, of course, yeah, that has to be. But ingredients important. If you use most healthy, clean, safe, and natural ingredients, what it can go wrong? No, because we don't have additive, we don't have the
preservatives and all the chemicals and all those things.
That's right. And it only matters little bit salty or not, but the taste is there, so won't be go wrong. So that's the key.
Fascinating. I have a question that's a little different to everything I've asked.
Sure.
What advice can you give to a woman who wishes to go into business? Because you're, you know, great inspiration, example.
First of all, it's really important you have to get support from your husband. Then you can start. Okay. Once you start, no matter what you do, once you start, also don't forget, it's very important. How to maintain your family is important. Don't let your husband forget he has a wife. Don't let your kids forget he has a mother. That's a lot of women. In the end, they have successful business, but they divorce. But luckily,
you don't have a family in life.
Yes, that's right. So that's I give the woman to advice. You can have successful business, but if you don't have successful family, it's also is as a loser. So that's how to balance is you need the wisdom and also
and balance.
Balance, yeah.
Because so many people are career driven. Life is work.
That's right.
Whereas life is not work. Work is work. It's to pay the bills, to pay your rent.
Yes,
career is great.
That's right.
But it's got to be balanced with family and the things that really matter and are truly important.
Also for the business, choose a business. You have to choose the one you really love it.
Right.
If only think this has the money, you can make money from this business, but you really don't love so much, better think more. Because eventually you will get tired. You know, like us. Our restaurant not making money, but I still enjoy because I love this concept. I love this business. Before I never.
And we love what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm glad. That's how the support.
We want everybody to know about the amazing.
It's also one.
First and foremost, the most amazing food, and then this experience. You know, it's so healthy. It's so good.
Thank
for you.
Really, really appreciate.
And then Felice as well. She's sitting here most days, so you can actually meet her.
You want to see me nighttime, dinner time, mostly here.
She's incredible.
Yeah, lunchtime appointments.
Sorry, I interrupted you. This is why you did the business. You do it from your heart.
From our heart, really from our heart. Of course, as I said, if I didn't have one hero behind me, it's my husband to support me. Yeah. He won't sit today, TaiPei Dao here.
Wow.
That's what I say. If a woman wants to have their own business, you have to get the support from your husband if you're married. It's very important.
Thank you so much for your time, Felice.
Can
we just at the end, where are we at the moment? We're in Dubai.
TaiPei Dao.
TaiPei Dao,
yeah. Dubai.
And South Bridge, right?
Downtown Dubai.
Downtown Dubai. Everybody should come over and check out this awesome place. Amazing food. I promise it's amazing. You're going to love it. And you'll have the pleasure of also experiencing
Yes,
this and
yeah.
also meeting Felice.
Definitely. If dinner time, I'm definitely waiting here for you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Sami. Patient.